Good morning, everyone. It's Donna Gray here, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from the Northern Rivers area in New South Wales, Australia. Jumping on for some live crafting this morning, and I have a super fun lot of crafting ready for you this morning, which is going to be absolutely awesome. It is a free kit that Rose and I are offering for any orders here in Australia. For any orders over $100, you will receive the card kit to make the 4 cards that I'm going to make this morning. So one of the first things I wanted to say to you, I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from the Northern Rivers area in New South Wales, Australia. I make handmade cards. I sell everything to do with paper crafting. So I sell inks, cardstock, stamps, dies, tools, adhesives, embellishments, ribbons, you name it, we sell it. So if you're in the market for any crafting supplies, please feel free to jump onto my online store, which in any of my videos on YouTube, you will find the shop online link, or you can actually call me and place your order in person over the phone. One of the super exciting things is I got this in the mail 2 days ago. So this is our brand new annual catalog that's going to go live on the 3rd of June. Now, if you want to get your hot little hands on this catalog and you don't already have a demonstrator, I'd be happy to pop you on my mailing list and pop a catalog in the post. I will be ordering my catalogs on the 5th of May. The exciting thing for us as demonstrators, and even for people that are hobby demonstrators, is that we are able to order from this brand new catalog in 3 more days, I think it is. Today is the 2nd, I think. So 3 more days. So I'm super excited to be able to order from this brand new catalog. So one of the things that I wanted to say to you is, one of the awesome things is that you could actually join my team. You could purchase the starter kit to get a discount on all of your crafting products, and you will be able to order these brand new items. In 3 days, you'll be able to order some of these brand new items in your starter kit. So if you're interested in getting your crafting supplies at a discount, and I need to tell you that it was the best decision that I ever did, but you don't have to do what I do. You don't have to do videos. You don't have to sell to people. You don't have to recruit people. You don't have to do any of that. You can join wholly and solely just to get a discount. Or on the other hand, if you're looking for something to give you a little bit of money, you can, if friends of yours want to purchase through you, you can actually sell to your friends and you can earn commission on their orders, which gives you a little bit of money to spend on your own crafting supplies. Or you can go to the other end of the spectrum and actually run it as a business like I do and earn awesome incentive trips overseas. I went to Greece and Rome back in July last year. I was due to go to Maui in July this year, but unfortunately with the COVID-19 virus, we won't be going to Maui, which that's okay. I was feeling a little bit nervous about traveling anyway, but Stampin' Up! Are awesome. They've actually postponed our trip and put it to May next year. So I will still get to go to Maui, and it's an all expenses paid trip for you and one other person. So you can do that if you want to run it as a business. It does take time, but I have business builders that are in my team, and I give them weekly business training to help them give the steps and help them build their Stampin' Up! Business, how they want to build it, to be able to hopefully in the future earn these incentive trips. Now, I've been with Stampin' Up! For 4 years. So my history, it will be 4 years in July that I've been with Stampin' Up! And I've earned 3 incentive trips so far with Stampin' Up! So I am super excited to be a part of this awesome company. But as I said, you can wholly and solely just buy and get your products at a discounted rate. And you will get that 20% discount straight off the bat. As soon as you sign up, your very next order after your starter kit, you will have the 20% discount. And if you buy a certain amount throughout a period of time, you will end up earning 25% discount. So you even get a better price as well. I'm just reading some of the comments. Happy Independence Day. Is it Independence Day in Kansas? So welcome everybody. Thank you for joining. Please feel free to share my video. Sharing helps get my crafting out to other people. Sorry, I'm just going to pop that there. I'm just quickly going to get on my devices and share this video to back onto Facebook. So feel free, while I'm sharing onto Facebook, feel free to share this video to your friends, onto your social media site. So back onto Facebook, and share it just onto your timeline. You never know who out of the people that you know might be interested in watching some live crafting this morning. So what I wanted to tell you is about this live crafting this morning. It is the free kit that we're going to give for a minimum order placed. So in America, the free kit is for anyone that purchases over $75. Rose will actually send you the kit out, and it's 4 cards, and we're using the Positive Thoughts stamp set. So it's a beautiful stamp set. It has matching framelits, which they are in our brand new catalog. The matching framelits will be in our brand new catalog. So if you don't have the matching framelits, then you can purchase them starting on the 3rd of June. But as I said, if you join my team, you can purchase things a lot earlier. So, and I'm not sure whether they're going to be on, we get a list. When it comes the 5th of May, we're allowed to order out the brand new catalog, and we get a list. We don't know what's going to be on the list, but we do get a list that will show us exactly what is available and what we're allowed to order in the pre-order. But it's a super, super fun time to be joining Stampin' Up. You get to choose $235 worth of product and only pay $169. So if your order, at the moment, we have the last chance products as well. So the things that we'll be retiring out of our current annual catalog and our mini catalog, things that aren't getting carried through to the new annual catalog. Some of them are even up to 60% off. So we have an awesome sale going at the moment. And at the moment, if you wanted to join anything from now until the 2nd of June, you're able to put those last chance products while they're available. You're able to put them into your starter kit as well. So you get an even bigger discount. So if you're interested, please feel free to, you can find my email address in any of my other videos. It won't be here at the moment, but when this video goes up later on, I will actually pop all the details there. Or you can go over to my website, which is www.donnagray.stampinup.net, and click on the join now, and you'll be able to see what processes you've got to go through. Or you can call me on 0421 725015, and I would be happy to walk you through it over the phone or answer any questions you may have. All right, so I know that you're keen to get started. So what I'm actually going to do is we're going to change the camera view back down onto my desk, and hopefully everything's going to be really good here. And I'll move that back so you can see a little bit more. Let's move this way a bit. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm using the Positive Thoughts stamp set, and I will make one of my cards, one of Rose's cards, then one of my cards, and then one of Rose's cards. And this will be the video that you will use when you want to finish and your cards when you get the free kit. So for me here in Australia, if you order over $300 worth, over $100 worth of Stampin' Up products, so if your order comes to $100 less postage, I will actually send you the kit for free to make the 4 cards. All right, I'm just going to pop everything there so I can see the comments of what people are saying as I go along. So bear with me. If I don't see your comment or I don't answer straight away, it's probably just that I haven't seen your comment just yet. But I will get to you. All right. So hello, we've got Gloria, Ruth, Cheryl, Joanne, Winanne, Jacqueline, Brenda, Sharon, Mary, Janet, Donna, welcome, Ilona, Cynthia, Sue, Mary, Matthew, Emma, Vicky, welcome everybody. I have quite a few people. Hey Pam, how are you going? Pam's just jumped on. You had an order come today and thought the new catalog would come too, but no. Oh, Vicky, that's such a shame. They're actually posting them out. I don't think it actually mattered what order. I think they're actually posting them out. So anyway, all right. So let's bring in what we're going to need for the first card. Now the first card, I only have samples of my cards because I've made my cards. I've got pictures of Rose's cards that I will show you beforehand. I'll get it up on my iPad, but nice nails. I did them myself, Jacqueline. I'm so proud of myself. And they're actually very much like Rococo Rose, a darker version of the Rococo Rose. Can the kit be purchased separately? No, Cynthia. It is with a, it has to be with an order. And it doesn't matter if you're a demonstrator already. It does not matter that you're a demonstrator already. You can still purchase and jump on and do an online order with either myself or Rose, depending on where you live. So if you live in the US, you order through Rose Ward, and she is stampersdelight.com. And if you live in Australia, you order through me. Janet says you got your catalog on Wednesday. Yay. All right. So in this card, I've done a little bit of a shabby chic type of look, a bit of a grungy type of look. And this is very out of my comfort zone, but I had a lovely time playing with it. And I probably will do this a little bit more to come. I had an awesome time. I love this set. The Positive Thoughts stamp set is just simply stunning. I'm telling you, it is probably one of my most favorite stamp sets at the moment. Now, I have gone ahead and done a lot of things because I've got to make 4 cards. I've done a lot of things ahead of time. So I do apologize that things are done, but it's pretty easy. In your kit, everything will come cut, ready to go. So this is just a card base, and I'm going to fold that in half, and it's in our beautiful Rococo Rose. And then in your kit, you will have this gorgeous, beautiful tin tile impressions embossed layer of Sahara sand. So on that, what we're going to do is to be able to distress, I'm going to sponge it first and then I'll distress it. So I've just got some of our Sahara sand. Sorry, I'm so cramped with the space that I have here. I'll put a few things over there out of my way. Okay, so I'm going to start with Sahara sand for this one. And I'm just going to grab a dauber. Now I'm just using one of our sponge daubers for this. You can also use maybe an oval makeup brush. You could also use our sponges that we have from Stampin' Up. So whatever you feel comfortable with using for your sponging is what you need to do. So I'm just going to bring in a scrap piece of paper. I'll fold that in half so it's not so white and glary. All right, so we're just going to, with that, load up your Sahara sand, and it doesn't matter how much you load on. It doesn't matter that it's not all even. This is just going to bring up, can you see how it's bringing up the pattern more on that embossed piece? And I'm sorry, I'm probably shaking the camera here doing this. So there's no rhyme or reason with this. Honestly, it's just inking up that sponge and getting a bit of color on there, just to accentuate that gorgeous embossed layer and make those embossed elements just pop off the page. So if you don't have Sahara sand, you may want to use crumb cake. Crumb cake will do the same thing, just be a little bit easier handed with the crumb cake because it will be a little bit more obvious. I liked the Sahara sand because you could get in there and color and you didn't really have to worry about it too much. All right, so we have that. We also have a feather that would be cut. Do we have? No, we don't have a feather on that one. I don't know why I've got the feather there. Okay, so we're going to do that. So now with the stressing of the edge of your cardstock, you just open up your scissors. There is a tool. You open up your scissors and you just run your scissors down along it. Now, if you cut into it, it's totally okay. Now, you will get quite a lot of paper fibers when this happens. So I remember when I actually did it in the first place, I was like, oh my Lord, I've got paper filings everywhere. But you know what? It was super, super fun. And the more that, see how I've just cut into there? It doesn't matter that you cut into that. Totally okay. The more rugged and ragged it is, the better it looks. Okay, so we're just going to distress all 4 sides of that one. So just running the scissors, just one blade up along the side of it. That's all you've got to do. anyone out there who has done this technique before? I mean, it's an oldie but a goodie. I mean, it's been around for many, many years. Who has actually done this distressing technique with the sides edges of your cardstock? I actually have one of my class members, and she does a lot of scrapbooking, and she does this a lot with some of the edges of her things. And I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to try that. So then we've got a sheet of designer series paper, and this is out of the gorgeous pressed petals. Now this will be retiring. So and if you don't have this, you could use Rococo Rose, and actually if you've got the Very Versailles, you could stamp the pattern of the writing on there if you don't have this, but it will still do the same thing. So I'm just going to, you've got to just be a little bit more careful with your designer series paper because it's a little bit more delicate. So it will be easier to distress and probably easier to sort of cut into it. But as I said, it's totally okay. Like, it doesn't have to be neat and tidy, and you can tear that paper. That is totally okay. It adds more to the character. It's great for vintage cards. Yes, Jen, exactly. So it's sort of, I was trying to think of what type of look I could say that it was, but yes, very much like a vintage type of look. So, all right, so I'm just distressing that all the way up the sides, cutting into it every now and then. Okay, so we're going to do the whole 4. And we also have a layer for the insert, and I'm going to distress that one while I'm going so that then it's all done. So once again, and this is the crumb cake again. So you can see the more you get comfortable with this technique, the quicker and the easier you can get to do it. And it has a great effect. It just looks awesome on the card to give that very vintage feel. So thank you for that word. It's the first time you've seen it, Linda. Well, you know what? I think, Linda, you might like to give it a try and see what you think. So there is actually a distressing tool that you can get. It's a little tiny tool that you can run down the sides of your cards. But an open blade of scissors works quite well. Okay, so we've got our whole 3 layers, all with that distressed edge. Worn look, yep. And it's like the ship records. Exactly. So it's giving you that type of effect. All right. So let's move on and get this card together. So we've got our Rococo Rose layer. So what we're going to do with this embossed layer, I'm going to use my Tombow, and I'm not going to put glue right to the outside edges because I actually want those edges sort of to curl up a little bit and stuff. So I'm actually going to just do a little bit of glue in that edge, but I'm going to leave all those corners to float up and do their own thing. I'm going to lay that straight down there on the front of the card. Now the same thing with this one, I'm still going to pop the glue on the inside of it, and then what I'm actually going to do is this one is actually going to go off at a little bit of a jaunty angle like that. Now with these corners, I don't mind if you want to scrunch it up, fold up the corners a little bit on it. Any of those cut pieces, let them sort of fold in, roll up those corners a little bit. But that's the whole idea, is to get that sort of grungy sort of look. All right, so for the insert of the card, I've got to realize what I've stamped here. For the inside, okay, so I'm using our gorgeous Rococo Rose, which it's up here. Bear with me because I need to clean off my stamp that I have here, which everything's probably going to fall. Yep. Because I still have pretty peacock on it. Okay. So what I'm actually going to do with the Rococo Rose, I'm going to use my scrap piece of paper, and I'm going to ink up with my Rococo Rose, but I'm going to stamp off on my scrap piece of paper. And then I'm actually going to stamp across here. So not re-inking. So I've got a really nice light Rococo Rose look there. And then I'm going to take the sentiment in for the inside saying, sending positive thoughts and feel good wishes. So we're going to take that one. And we're gonna get that on our block. And I'm going to do that in our Blackberry Bliss. Well, now, if you don't have Blackberry Bliss, Rich Raspberry would be quite good in place of it. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp that one straight across that gorgeous fern leaf that we have there. I think it's called a maidenhair fern. I think that's what it is. All right, so I'm just going to glue that one to the insert of my card. Oh, you've been having a bit of a rough time, Jen. All right, so that one's on the insert of our card. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're just going to place some of these elements around. So I have actually stamped all of these images and cut them out with the framelits, with the matching framelits. Your kit will come with everything cut out, ready to go. So we've got the gorgeous fern. So what we're going to do is we're going to layer that one down with some Tombow. And it's actually going to pop over to the left like that. Okay. Now, we have these two elements that I've actually cut out with the beautiful framelits that match. And I've got a strip of our Sahara sand. I'm going to bring back in that scrap piece of paper. So once again, we're going to ink up with our Rococo Rose. And I'm going to stamp off again like that. And I'm then going to stamp in the middle of that sentiment layer just with the Rococo Rose. So you get a really light hint of that gorgeous fern there. So then I'm going to take the other stamp that says, friends like you mean more every year. So I'm just going to mount that up on a block and I'm going to ink that up with our Blackberry Bliss. And I'm going to stamp that just over the middle of that fern. So just like that. All right. So then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take those two gorgeous strips of the two die cuts that we have, and I'm just going to pop some double-sided tape on the back layer of that sentiment. So just a bit of double-sided tape, top and bottom. Okay. And then I'm just going to whip off that backing. And then with this, I'm just going to layer that just like that. So we've got a gorgeous edge piece on our sentiment. And I'm going to do that with the other one as well. So we're just going to pop that in just like that. So we've got that gorgeous delicate edge on the top and the bottom of that sentiment layer. Okay, now that's actually going to pop up, but we want to make it the same width as what our front layer is. So I'm just going to eyeball that, and I'm just going to, with that one, cut that one straight up there. Okay, so we've got that. And then I'm thinking just to the edge of where those two beautiful layers, and that's going to look quite good, just like that. Now, the one thing, when you've got things on a jaunty angle like this, you've actually got to work out and get your sentiment to layer nice and straight on that front. So what I normally tend to do is look at the bottom and layer that exactly being level with the bottom of my cardstock. So I'm actually going to pop some dimensionals on the back of that one. And I'm just going to pop my dimensionals in the middle of that layer because I want to be able to pop some of these elements down in underneath it. Now, if I put my dimensionals too close to the edge of that layer, you would find that it would be way too close and you wouldn't be able to pop those little extra bits in underneath. So I'm just going to pop that there. I've got these gorgeous little elements and no, I haven't lost them. So I'm just with a glue dot. Now beware, when you're using glue dots with these little tiny elements, they are very fine. So, so you've got to be very careful when you actually stick them into your glue dots, when you're removing them, that you don't pull them apart, because I know when I was actually designing my card, this larger one, I actually pulled it apart. So sometimes it's better just to, with your take your pick tool, grab it onto your take your pick tool, and then you'll be able to pop it in under there where you need it to be. So that one goes like that. This little one here just goes in there like that. Okay, so we've got those two little pieces there. We've got this gorgeous butterfly here that we're going to pop up onto a dimensional. And we're going to pop it coming down over our sentiment a little bit. So just like one little wing popping down over there. And then I've got these gorgeous butterflies, and I've got two of them, and I'm going to pop them onto, have I got two? Yes, I was going to say I'm supposed to have two. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that into some glue dots, and we're going to pop one just here on that sentiment layer, and we're going to pop another one down below here on that bottom layer going that way. Okay, so because I've got the glue dots in the middle, I can then pop the little wings up so they look like they're flying off the page. So we can pop that wing up and maybe get that in under there. Pop that little wing up. Same with our butterfly up here, pop up the wings. And then just to finish it off, I'm going to grab some of our gorgeous pearls. And with my putty end of my take your pick tool, I'm going to pop two pearls in. I'm going to do one bigger one in the body of, oh, if I can get that to come up. Okay, we'll do it with my scissors today. There. One bigger one at the top of the body, and then a little one. My putty end's not working for me today. Come on. There. That's how it's supposed to work. And then we're going to pop one pearl up here. Pearls are not my friend today. And two tiny little pearls just in an array there. And then we're going to pop just a tiny pearl in the body of each of those cute little butterflies. Okay, and you know me, of course, there's really not enough bling on this card because we need to bring in our Wink of Stella. I'm just going to close my ink pads so I don't contaminate my ink pads when I do this. So we're going to bring in our Wink of Stella, and I'm going to color the butterfly. Now remember, with your Blackberry Bliss, you'll find that the Wink of Stella will make the color move, and I'm okay with that. I'm happy that it's going to add a little bit of color to the wings of my butterfly. So I'm just going to add that little bit of Wink of Stella like that on that butterfly. Okay, and then I'm going to do my trick that I'm going to squeeze a little bit of that Wink of Stella, and then I'm just going to bash it on my take your pick tool and just spritz the front of my card. Okay, now that gives beautiful glimmer and shine. I'm not sure whether you can see that in the light, but we've got some gorgeous glimmer and shine on the front of that card. So there you go. That is card number 1 in our free kit that we're offering with a purchase over $100. So now I'm going to bring in one of Rose's cards and we'll put that one together. Okay. So we have this card here. And we have a gorgeous grape base. So I'm going to fold the gorgeous grape base in half. Okay, we have a gorgeous tin-tiled embossing layer here on the front. So we're going to pop that on the front. Sorry, I'm just going to get my photos up here so I know what I'm doing. Okay, so we've got the tin tiled embossed layer. We're going to glue that on with our liquid Tombow. So just like that. Okay, now we've got this gorgeous, we've got gorgeous grape, we've got Highland Heather, and then this is our purple posy. And we're going to use the gorgeous grape ink pad. And we're going to stamp the sentiment, hugs, prayers, and love that's in our stamp set. So we'll mount that up onto a block. Hugs, prayers, and love. And we're just going to pop that up towards the top, like so. Okay. Hugs, prayers, and love. And then we've got a beautiful one of those edging pieces cut out of our silver glimmer paper. So we're actually going to glue that across the top. Now I'm going to use my typical glue, is my little, there it is over there. Okay, so I'm going to use my little glue trick that I'm going to use my sponge and my silicone mat. I'm going to pop a bit of glue up in that corner. I'm going to spread the glue out a little bit with my sponge. Now my sponge is just a sponge on one of those dog clips that you get from the office supplies place. And I'm just going to sponge it over the edge of that. And then I'm actually going to line that up still on my silicone mat. I'm going to line that up that it's going to go across the top of our card. Okay, so just like that. All right. So then we have a gorgeous butterfly that has been stamped with our crushed curry. I'll just move that out of the way again. We have a gorgeous butterfly that's been stamped with crushed curry and cut out with the framelits that match. So we're just going to grab a dimensional. We're going to pop that butterfly up on a dimensional. And he's going to just fly over there in that corner. I'm going to trim off the edges of that silver glimmer paper that we don't need. Now this layer here with the purple posy has been cut out with the framelit. There's a rectangle framelit that has, can you see that gorgeous stitched look on the edges of the card there, running around all the edge of the card? That is what that framelit does. It is absolutely simply stunning. So we're just going to glue that into the middle of our card now. Just like so. All right. And then I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to grab some of these pieces here. So we've got this beautiful leaf, the fern, cut out of our silver glimmer. So we're just going to pop a little bit of glue just on that one edge because it's going to actually hang off the side of that layer. So that's okay. So we're going to do that. Okay, so then this one here, we're actually going to pop up on dimensionals. So I'm going to grab some of my large dimensionals and probably some of my small ones. I've got some mini ones here. I think I can pop another large one there. And then we'll pop some mini ones. I'm trying to think of which side this is going to go. So I don't really need them on that side. So over there. There. And another one just in there. And maybe another one down there, just for good measure. Okay, so we're just going to take the backings off those. So once again, this, if you've just jumped in and just started watching, this is our free kit that we're offering with a minimum order. So we're just going to straddle that one a little bit like that. Okay, and then we've got a beautiful fern that has been, feather that has been stamped in our Sahara sand. We've also got a beautiful, gorgeous grape flower, and we've got a Highland Heather flower. So we're just going to arrange those really nicely in there. So these two I'm actually going to glue down. I'm actually going to pop that one up. I'm going to glue this one down in that corner. So just like so, up there. Okay, so this one we're actually going to pop up onto some dimensionals. And we're going to pop that just here. What have we got? Hey, Donna, just landed. Love the #1, like the pink and black together. I mean, blueberry, blissful, Colorado. I've done that and it's been a while. TV. I wish we could have visitors, can't be able to hold my new granddaughter. I know, Sue, it's not nice, is it? Someone just said, where the dies are from. Can you please tell me where they come from again? Okay, so the dies were a coordination product that we had available during celebration, but they are carrying through to our brand new annual catalog. So you will be able to get them in the new catalog. They were a coordination product that we had available for two, yes, Nature's Thoughts dies. Thank you, Sharon. Okay, so we're just going to pop that little feather down in there, but it's up on dimensionals just like so. Okay, so then on the insert, we've got a Whisper White piece here for our insert, and I'm just going to scrub off that. Where did I put? There it is. I was going to say, where did I put my chamois to clean my stamp? So I'm just going to clean that off, and we're going to ink that up in our gorgeous grape for the center. So gorgeous grape. And we're going to stamp that, sending positive thoughts and feel good wishes just in the middle, like that. And then we're going to grab our crushed curry and our butterfly, and we're just going to stamp a crushed curry butterfly down in that bottom corner. So just like that, okay? So we've got the crushed curry butterfly in the corner and the sending you positive thoughts and feel good wishes. I think these cards are absolutely fantastic for what is happening right now. So this stamp set is still available, so you can still purchase the stamp set. You will just have to wait for the framelits, that's all. So there we have, okay, card number 2. And I'm just going to finish off just with a little bit of Wink of Stella. And I'm going to pop some Wink of Stella, remember, Wink of Stella onto that gorgeous flower. Remember that it will move your color around, so be careful when you're doing your Wink of Stella. And we'll pop some just on that one there. And maybe some on the feather. We can have some on that feather, making the feather look really nice. And on our green fern. We need to just bling it up a little bit, just to add a bit of shimmer and shine as we do. Okay, so we've got that. I might even just spritz again. Hang on, I'll grab it, do it properly. Spritz the front of the card. Okay, and then just in the center, where did my pearls go? Just in the center, there they are. Just in the center of those flowers, we've just popped a pearl there. And sorry, I'm just gonna, and a pearl in here, and a little tiny pearl just in a little butterfly up there. Okay, so there you have card number 2. Now this one was designed by Rose. The first one that I did was designed by myself. The second one that I did was designed by Rose. And now the third one that we will bring in, this is one again that I designed. So we've got the beautiful pretty peacock as our color scheme and our Sahara sand. I'm just going to clean up a bit here, so I've got a bit of room and space on my desk here. Okay, so we have the gorgeous Sahara sand and pretty peacock is the color combination here. You like this? I have had another friend lose a grandparent this week, so many since the lockdown. I know, Jenny, it's been really sad. And you know, my brother called me the other day and his father-in-law passed away, and it's super, super sad because They're only allowed 5 people at the funeral, which is really, really sad. It means that his children, it's their first grandparent that they've lost, and they aren't even allowed to go to the funeral, which is super, super sad. Okay, so I've got a couple of layers here that I've done ahead of time. So this is embossed with the tin tile embossing folder. I've also got a rectangle here that I've cut out using that framelit that goes with the matching dies. I've got a beautiful butterfly that I've pre-stamped, ready to go and cut out. I've got the gorgeous maidenhair fern cut out, stamped in Pretty Peacock again. We've got the gorgeous feather, and we have the cute little butterfly there. And I'm going to show you a trick with this, and you're probably thinking, where in the world did that come from? And I'll tell you as we go. I've cut out a frame as well out of the Pretty Peacock. Now the frame I've cut out using that rectangle framelit, but I've also used our stitch rectangles to cut out in the middle as well. So okay, so let's get full steam ahead. So once again, I'm going to use my Sahara sand and my sponge dauber, and I'm going to sponge this tin tiled layer, and I'm also going to sponge, so I'll just bring in that scrap. So I'm just going to go back over again. As I said, don't be too scared. The Sahara sand is not that dark, so it doesn't really matter how you really get into this. I just more or less just kept inking up the sponge dauber and just throwing a bit of ink on there, and honestly it just brings up that gorgeous embossed impression so much better when you sponge. I mean, it's gorgeous as it is without actually doing the sponging, but the sponging just actually makes it stand out a little bit better. So I'm just going to go around the edges now with that Sahara sand as well, just accentuating those edges a little bit more, and across the bottom and up the sides. And because the Sahara sand is so light, as I said, you don't really get to see anything of, and I'm just going to go that leaf. I'm just going to add some color to that leaf as well. So just around the edges of the leaf, just to darken up the leaf a little bit. And I didn't do it on my first card, but I'm probably going to do it on my second card. I'm going to just sponge the edge of this one as well. So this is our sentiment layer that we're going to be using. So I'm just going to sponge a little bit around the edges, and that's probably going to bring up a little bit of that stitching a little bit better as well. All right, so that's all I need to do with that. I'm going to grab my gorgeous maidenhair fern again, and I'm going to ink that up with my Sahara sand. I just need to clean it. So I'm going to ink it up with my Sahara sand. Okay. I'm going to ink up with the Sahara sand. Now on this rectangle piece that we have here, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to ink it up. I'm going to put one straight. I'm then going to stamp another one that way, and I'm going to ink it up and stamp off for this one and pop another one that way. Okay, so we've got 3 of the ferns, but first stamping and then second stage stamping and second stage stamping. My color combos are always so different and interesting in a good way. Thank you, Carol. Good evening, Lolly and Sand. How are you, Sandy? How are you? All right, so then I've actually got this one here that I've already stamped. So I'm just going to, with my Tombow, adhere that one to the front. So once again, if you place the minimum order with me, which is $100, you will actually get, sorry, before I lay that one down, there is one that I need to stamp here. I did that when I was doing this before. Okay, so I want to stamp a Pretty Peacock flower just down in that bottom section before I adhere that one to it. Okay, so I'm going to ink up that flower, and I'm just going to stamp that just down in the bottom here, that section just there. And I did that because when I was actually doing it, I needed a bit of color in behind that sentiment. So, okay, so now I'm actually going to adhere that gorgeous maidenhair fern over to the left and popping it down in between 2 of those that I've stamped, just in between there. I think I honestly agree with you, Linda. I think funeral should be an exception to the rule. I really do. I think it's super, super sad for my nephews that, as I said, it's their first grandparent that has passed away. And I think it's super sad that, like, he's been a major part of their lives and now they can't go to his funeral. Okay, so I'm going to pop that butterfly up on a dimensional up in that corner there. I'm also going to grab my, I thought I colored one of them, didn't I? Maybe, oh, I did up there. Okay, so I'm going to grab my little fern here, and I'm actually going to, or feather. I keep calling it a fern. Everyone keeps telling me that's not a fern. It's a feather. They put maidenhair ferns in with feathers, and it's just there to confuse us, I'm sure. All right, so I'm just going to pop that one over to the left, coming up through there. All right. So now you may be asking, what in the world, where did you get that string from? And how did you do that? Okay, so I'm going to show you a little trick. Oops. And this is something that I did because I couldn't find my linen thread. So this is the reason why I did this, but this is a good thing to do, that if you can't find your linen thread, you can do this. So I took some of our flax ribbon. Now you might be thinking, what is the flax ribbon? I'm going to show you. So it's this ribbon that we have here. This one. Okay, so it's our white flax ribbon. And what you can do is there's a little nylon thread that goes through it. It zigzags backwards and forwards and holds all those threads together. I've actually pulled the nylon. I'm just going to see if I can grab it there. So see the nylon thread? You can pull that and you can unthread it. And when you unthread it, it actually separates all of these pieces of twine, and you end up with, just a piece of all these pieces of twine. So I'm actually going to color 2 pieces of this. So because I couldn't find my linen thread, I've used my crumb cake marker, and I'm just taking the brush end of my crumb cake marker. I'm going to hold that thread, and just with the brush end, I'm just going to run it through like that. Okay. And you're going to see we've colored that crumb cake. And doesn't that just look like linen thread? I think this is a super awesome thing to do when you can't find your linen thread. Okay, so we've got that. I'm going to do one more piece because I know I'm going to need 2. So I'm going to do the same thing again. So I'm going to grab the linen thread and just hold my marker there in one spot and just run that thread through the marker. Okay, so who has done this before? I know that we've done it with ribbon. You can do it with baker's twine. So white baker's twine, you can turn your baker's twine into any color that you want it to be with your blends. Your blends are awesome for coloring anything and making it color coordinated. Okay, so that was just using the crumb cake blend and some of that white flax ribbon. All right, so the next thing what we need to do is we're supposed to have a rectangle here. Where is my rectangle? There it is, under there. Okay, so with this rectangle, what I'm actually going to do is I want to just pop it underneath there like that. So what I actually did was I just held it there like that. I just grabbed my Tombow and I just flipped up this and went, bit of glue there, a bit of glue down there, and held it in place. And then I did the same thing with the bottom. Thanks, Curly Top. I'm apparently, Liz, isn't it? Curly Top. Apparently I'm full of good ideas. I hope I am. I mean, that's my job, is to inspire you, to get you in your craft room and to do these different things. I thoroughly, as I said, this is one of my favorite bundles. I'm telling you, I absolutely love it. If you haven't got it, I'm telling you, you need to place your order for it because you are going to absolutely love it. All right, so I've got that on that angle ready to go. So I've got it all as one piece. Okay. Okay, so then what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to grab just some double-sided tape. I'm just going to tape down one end here, and then I'm going to wrap that around those layers. So I want it wrapped around, and I want it sort of going into the bottom of that fern. And I'm only going to get 2 around it, but that's okay. All right, so I've got it that it's crossing over just at the bottom of that fern. I'm then going to take some more double-sided tape and just tape that down and cut off the excess that I don't need. Okay. And then with the other piece that I've colored, I'm actually just going to tie a bow. And please forgive me because I'm really bad at tying bows. I'm not too bad at this because it's a bit stronger and a bit more sturdy than our baker's twine. So I find that I'm okay with tying a bow. But normally baker's twine and I do not mix. And I always say that. Every time I'm doing it, I always say baker's twine is never really my friend. All right, so then I'm going to pop that into there. The frame, Sue, is from the framelits. It comes in the framelits. I will grab the framelits out so I can show you. I've got them here in my stamp set. So it comes in the framelits. They're all a bit of a mess, but can you see here we've got that rectangle shape? And what I've done is I've used our stitched rectangles. I've used a smaller rectangle to go on the inside of it. So it's then giving me the frame. So I've used that rectangle for the Sahara sand frame, but I've also used it for the Pretty Peacock frame, but I've just popped one of our stitched rectangles, a smaller stitched rectangle inside to make the frame. All right. So then I've got a glue dot holding that on. So then I'm going to, my little butterfly was here. There he is. I'm going to grab my little butterfly. I'm going to pop him into a glue dot. Like that. And then we're going to pop that in the middle of our bow. So just like that. Okay. So then we have left, we've got this little rectangle here, and that's for friends like you mean more every year. So I'm just going to clean that off as well. And just with my Pretty Peacock ink, I'm going to ink that up and stamp that in that rectangle. So ink it up and pop that in that rectangle. Sorry, my hair's probably in the screen there. Friends like you mean more every year. I'm also going to grab the other sentiment for the inside. Clean that off. And for my insert, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to do the same thing with that gorgeous fern and the Sahara sand. I'm going to use it full strength because Sahara sand is not really that dark. We can use full strength on the inside. It's fine. So I'm just going to do that sideways again, like that. And then I'm going to ink up sending positive thoughts and feel good wishes in our Pretty Peacock. And that's going to stamp straight across there like that. Okay. And now I'm just going to close those ink pads. Now it's just a case of putting this card together. We're just about done. All right. So on the insert, I will just glue that insert in with my liquid Tombow. So this is the third card. We've got one more card of roses to go. Now, as I said, for a qualifying order, you just need to place an order with me of $100 or more during the month of May, and you will receive the card kit to make these 4 gorgeous cards. If you live in the US, you place an order with Rose for $75 and you will receive the card kit because our currency is different and we tried to make it even in both countries. Okay. And then with this piece, we're just going to glue that down. We're going to have a gorgeous 1/4 inch border all the way around. With this piece here, we're going to pop that up onto dimensionals. And as usual, I've lost my dimensionals, but that's okay. I'll just grab another sheet because I can. They should be right here. Is anyone else like me, loses everything on their craft desk as they're crafting? So I'm just going to pop those dimensionals around on the back there. Someone's messaging me. Okay. All right. It was my daughter, but at least she knows that I'm live, so she didn't ring me. It doesn't matter because I don't use my phone anymore, so it doesn't matter if people ring me anymore because it doesn't interrupt my live video because I'm not using my mobile phone anymore for my live video, so that's good. Taking those backings off. Okay. And then that is just going to go at a little bit of an angle. So using your pretty peacock at the angle. And I mean, your other one is sort of quite nearly straight, but not quite. Okay. So then with this one here is just going to slide in under there. And I'm just going to use some liquid glue for that. So it's just going to slide in under our bow. On there. Okay, so friends like you mean more every year, and hanging off a little bit to that right hand side there. Okay, so to finish this one off, I'm going to use some of my rhinestones, and I'm just going to use my basic rhinestones, and I'm going to pop 2 in my little butterfly up the top. So 1 there and another one there. And I'm going to pop 1 in my butterfly, my little baby butterfly here. Okay. And pop up his little wings like so. And that is it. Card number 3. So hopefully you enjoyed my card number 3. And now I'm going to get moving on. Our 4th and final card. Okay, so our 4th and final card is a card that was designed by Rose. And this has got some gorgeous ideas as well on this card. And she's like maxed out severely on all of the die cuts on this card. She's done so many die cuts, and I'm like, well, thank you, Rose, because now we have lots of die cuts that we're going to have to cut for this card. But anyway, it's a gorgeous card. So on this, you may see that gorgeous shimmer and shine and that brick layer there. Now I'm just going to show you what was used and how to do this. Now you don't have to do this on that layer if you don't have it, but it was a Whisper White piece, and I just used my silicone matte, a Whisper White piece, and this is one of our masks, and as you can see, my lovely cat has decided that he wanted to chew that really nicely. So we've got a few chew marks in that corner there. So you just lay that down, and with our gorgeous glitter embossing paste, shimmery white embossing paste, just with a spatula, wipe it on and just put it all over your card, peel off that, and then that gorgeous embossed layer will be there, and pop it aside. It dries like within a few minutes, like it doesn't take long to dry. It dries hard. It doesn't really break when you bend the card. So a lot of people say that, you know, does it really bend or anything when you, or break when you bend the card? But no, it doesn't. So that's totally okay. All right, so now what we're going to do is, she's got one of these gorgeous stitched rectangles, and that's out of that die that's in our set. So down on the bottom of that, she's actually typed. She's actually stamped with our Blackberry Bliss. She has stamped the sentiment, friends like you mean more every year. So I'm just going to clean off my stamp and get ready for that. Okay, so we're just going to ink that up in our Blackberry Bliss and pop that down in that bottom corner. Okay, so just down there like that. Okay, so then she's actually stamped a gorgeous flower in our Rococo Rose, which I've already done and cut out. She's also stamped and cut out a beautiful crushed curry butterfly, which I've already done that for you. She has also stamped one of these cute little feathers, and I've done that with Sahara sand. You could do it with crumb cake or Sahara sand. It's totally up to you. She has a white feather in here. She has stamped this beautiful maidenhair fern in our pretty peacock. And she's also cut out, we've got this gorgeous white embossed flower. So it's embossed, and then it's got some little pieces that you can actually like poke through with your pokey tool, and they actually like raise up. So it's a gorgeous embossed flower. Can you see how that raises those little pieces up through there? So you're just poking that pokey tool down in there and just pushing them up to make them sit up in that gorgeous embossed look. So you've got, it's a little bit, I'm not sure whether it's like a chrysanthemum flower or maybe a straw flower, what they're sort of trying to get the look of. But it's a gorgeous flower once you pop up all those little pieces in it. Okay, so you've got a gorgeous embossed flower there. Okay, now, so what we're going to do is we're going to start arranging this card because we have all our pieces all done. So we're going to, I've got a thick piece of Whisper White and I've scored it in the middle so that when we fold it, it creases really nicely. Thick Whisper White is what you need to use when you're using white as your card base, for the main reason being that it's a lot sturdier, so it's much better. Are they both seal point? Oh, we're talking about the cats here. I'm trying to catch up on some of the comments. I'm so sorry I haven't been catching up on the comments, but I'm trying to get these cards done because it's a fair bit to do, the 4 cards in one video. And what time am I? Oh, I'm not doing too bad. I've only been going for an hour, so that's not too bad. Okay, so I'm just going to use tear and tape to glue this layer down. Now, the reason that I'm using tear and tape is because it's an embossed layer, it tends to, because the cardstock has been damp when you've used the embossing paste, it tends to want to curl up. So I want it to sit really nicely on my card. So I always choose a bit firmer type of adhesive when I've got embossed layers to make sure that they sit really nicely on the front of the card. The only problem is with tear and tape, you have to make sure that you've got that layered up really nicely before you lay it down, that that's exactly where you want it to be before you press it down, and that's looking pretty good. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm actually going to turn it over and I'm going to press it down like that. It's ragdoll talk. My Theo is a ragdoll, remember, Jenny? But my Theo's a ragdoll mixed with just a tabby cat, I think. He's only part ragdoll, but he's gorgeous. He's worth it. Although, I don't know how gorgeous he is. Can everyone see these 2 puncture marks here? He took to me last night. I put a new Donna cover on my bed, and I have no idea whether it had something to do with that, but he took to me last night and bit me, and that's his 2 eye teeth. Went straight into me, and he has never, ever bitten me like that. I must admit, my younger daughter had him a bit riled up beforehand, so I'm wondering whether it was something to do with how she riled him up in the first place. I have no idea, but yeah, he wasn't too friendly last night. But anyway, all right. So I'm then going to pop this layer up on dimensionals to go on to the front of that card. I know, it was ouch. I tell you what, he got put in the laundry quick smart after that. I said to Danny, come in here and get him out of here. he was being really nice. He was curled up on my bed and he was having a lovely time. And then my daughter came in and disrupted him. And I think he got angry because she disrupted him because he was happy. He was sleeping on my bed and he was having a lovely old snooze with me. It was about, I don't know, 9 o'clock or 9:30 last night. And I think he was quite happy where he was. And she came in and disturbed him. And I think because she came in and disturbed him, it riled him up a little bit. And then I think he was a little bit, because she was laying on my bed, like she was mucking around and rolling around on my bed. And I think he was thinking that when he jumped back up on the bed that I was her. And so he decided to lay into me because he thought I was her. So yeah, it wasn't real pretty. All right, so we've got our dimensionals and we're going to pop that into the middle of our card like that. Okay, so we've got that gorgeous embossed flower. So we're going to pop it up onto a dimensional as well. We're going to pop him up in the corner, just like that. All right, so we're going to do some dimensionals on this one here. So I'm just going to put dimensionals just on that top section and maybe one on here, but I'm going to leave that bottom section because the bottom section actually overlays. Actually, I'm going to leave that one because it actually overlays a bit, hangs a bit off the that layer. So, and I'm going to grab just some small, just to pop on that one there, I think. And I think that's all I'm going to use because it hangs off a little bit up the top. Sorry, my screen keeps disappearing. I've got a picture of Rose's card here beside me, so I'm making sure that I do it all right, and it keeps going off on me. All right, so that is going to go down here like this. And as you can see, hanging off a little bit up the top there. All right, she's got a gorgeous little white butterfly, and that little white butterfly is going to go on with a glue dot. And we'll pop him down in that bottom corner. So just down here. Yep, there. Okay, we have this beautiful little die cut piece in Whisper White. So we're going to pop that into a glue dot as well. And once again, remember I said, be very careful when you're taking that off because it does tend to quite easily break. So we're just going to slide him in under that there and pop him down. So just like that. She's got the beautiful feather coming in from down here. So we're going to pop it up on dimensionals as well. So like that. And we'll pop it just in underneath that there. Like so. We're then going to have this flower here and we're going to pop it up onto dimensionals as well. We may as well pop it all up and have a bit of dimension happening on the front of the card here. So we'll do that. And that's actually going to go down on this bottom corner here. So like so. Then we have the gorgeous butterfly that's in our crushed curry. It is a pretty stamp set, Sandy, isn't it? It's gorgeous. Like, honestly, I liked the stamp set, but then when they came out with the framelets, I was like, oh, that has just taken it to a whole new level. And then we've got a white feather here as well, and I'm actually going to glue that one down with liquid glue. I told you she went pretty overboard with all these gorgeous die cuts. So we're going to pop that one down in there. And then she's got another cute little butterfly, which we're going to pop on with our glue dots again. And he's hanging around just on that bottom corner of that frame. So just down here, like so. And then she has one of these gorgeous edge pieces, and she's actually got that cut out with just on Whisper White. So I'm going to bring back in my glue trick again. So I'm going to bring back in my silicone mat. I'm going to pop a bit of glue down in that corner once again. I just lost my lid of my glue down there, but that's okay. All right, so we're just going to spread that glue out a little bit. And then we're just going to pop some glue onto the back of that die cut piece. And then that way you don't have glue oozing out everywhere, and you can pop that just down along that bottom edge. So just like so. Oops, I'm probably out of shot there. I'll pop that over there. All right. So we have that looking super, super gorgeous. She's then taken some of our, I think it was probably Noble Peacock rhinestones. And I'll see how good I go here because I've got a few of them left, but I don't think I have. Oh, I do. Okay, there's some here. All right. So, and these rhinestones probably will not come in my kit because I actually don't have any. So this is all I have, and I'm probably going to use them all up doing this. So I do apologize. You'll probably get plain rhinestones instead. All right, so she's got them along here like this, and I'm probably going to run out, or I might have a couple left in here. I've got a couple of big ones left. I'm just going to do some blue ones. I know that they're not quite the same color, but it's what I'm going to have to do. It's all I have. All right, so like that. Okay, so we have that. And then I'm going to pop a gorgeous one up in here in the middle of that flower there like that. Okay, so then on the insert, we have a Whisper White insert here. So on the insert, she's got sending thoughts and feel good wishes. So we're going to do that. I've got to clean that off because I've got a pretty peacock on it. I'm going to do it in our Blackberry Bliss. He gets happy mail and says, "Don't give me nothing. I didn't do anything." Okay, so I'm going to stamp that in that center part, and then we're going to bring in that butterfly again with our crushed curry. All right, and that butterfly just gets stamped down there in that corner. All right. So there you have our 4 cards that we are offering. I'll just glue that to the insert. I actually do think she put a little bit of Wink of Stella on the front. So we'll glam it up a little bit with our Wink of Stella. So we've got that insert there on the inside. Jenny says, "You do realize, Donna, you're going to make me get this set." That's the plan, Jenny. And you know what? You could get the set, Jenny, off me, and you could get the card kit to make all of these things. So just saying. All right, so we're going to do Wink of Stella on our gorgeous maiden hair fern. So we're going to glam that up a little bit. And remembering, it will make your ink move. So please be careful when you're changing colors with your Wink of Stella, that you don't transfer some of one color over to the other. I'm just going to use my chamois to clean off the tip and go again. So we're going to pop some onto our gorgeous feather here, some onto our beautiful flower, our Rococo rose flower, and also some onto our cute little butterfly. I'm going to move that color around because I want to bring out some of that gorgeous crushed curry into our butterfly. All right, and then I'm going to once again do my super, super awesome spritzing technique. Squeeze a little bit down and then spritz over the front of your card like so. And that gives a beautiful glimmery shimmer to the front of your card. I'm just checking here. Oh, she popped a rhinestone in the middle of that flower as well, so I can do that. She's got one in there. But I'm sorry, you won't be getting colored ones. You'll be getting just plain rhinestones because that's all I have available. Because you can see that's it in those rhinestones that I have. All right, so there we have that. So I'm going to bring in all 4 cards that we made. So we have the 2 of roses cards that we have here. Okay, and then we also have, that's roses, and these ones were mine. So the beautiful Rococo Rose and Pretty Peacock, and we've used Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, Granny Apple Green, Crushed Curry. But as I said, you can do your butterflies in whatever color you want. You can incorporate whatever colors you want to do. I mean, and Sahara Sand, that's another color that we used. So we've done some pretty awesome cards here. So as I said, with a $100 order through myself, you will receive the kit to make these 4 gorgeous cards. So roses card, another one of roses cards, and the 2 of my cards, this gorgeous one here, and the Pretty Peacock one. So hopefully you enjoyed that crafting this morning. Now, everything that I have used can be purchased through our online store. So the Positive Thoughts stamp set, this one here that we've been using for the video the whole way through, that is still available, and that will be carrying through to our new catalog. So if you haven't got that, I also did use the crumb cake blend as well, and the gorgeous embossing paste and those masks. So I actually think the masks that we used, I think they are actually going in our new catalog. So I think they're actually on the last chance product list as well. So if this is the first time you've watched me, please feel free to hit that subscribe button down in that bottom right hand corner. Make sure you click the bell notification. And as I said, if you wanted to purchase some of these things in your starter kit, I'm more than happy to chat with you over the phone and answer any questions you may have. But if you place an order for more than $169, you really should think about purchasing the starter kit and getting even more for your money. That's what it's all about, getting more for your money, and then enjoying a 20% discount while ever you stay current. Now, a lot of people say to me, how much have I got to spend each month? It is only about $156 a month. So it's probably a bundle and a bit of cardstock that you spend every month to stay current. You can spend it all in one big order. You can spend it all in little small orders to add up. If you have other people that want to purchase from you, then you are quite willing to get them to purchase through you. That actually adds to your quarterly amount. So if you are thinking that that maybe someone might buy from you and help you make that quarterly amount, they all tally up together. So it's quite easy to stay current. And the worst thing is, if you don't stay current, you just lose your discount and go back to being a customer again. That's as simple as it is. So hopefully you all enjoyed this today. As I said, once again, please feel free to share the video. That helps me get out to more people, lets me know that my crafting is reaching more people. Please stay safe. Please stay healthy. Our social distancing here in Australia, like, I think our numbers are getting way better. So it's been awesome. I hope I've inspired you to get into that craft room. If you haven't got the Positive Thoughts stamp set, you may think you want to buy it. My shop link will be down in the show more box down below, or you can call me and place your order over the phone. So thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. And until next time, happy crafting. Bye for now.